The town of Maple Hollow, Iowa, disappeared into darkness early. At 6:12 p.m., the last school bus hissed to a stop near the rusted sign that read, Maple Hollow, Pop 1102. Emily Carter stepped down onto cracked asphalt, hugging her backpack tightly against her chest. The bus doors folded shut behind her with a final mechanical sigh, and then it was gone, its red lights vanishing into the trees. The road was empty. No cars, no houses close enough to show light, only cornfields stretching endlessly on both sides, whispering as the wind moved through them. Emily checked her phone. No signal. 12% battery. She sighed. Her house was only a 10-minute walk from the stop. She'd done it hundreds of times. Still, something felt wrong tonight. The air was too quiet. No crickets, no distant dogs barking, just silence. Then, footsteps. Emily froze. They weren't hers. Slow, uneven, coming from behind her. She turned. Nothing. The road was empty. After a few seconds, she laughed nervously and continued walking. Behind her, the footsteps resumed. Emily reached the old Miller farm fence where a single porch light glowed in the distance. That's when she heard a voice. "Don't go home yet." Emily spun around. Standing near the fence was Mrs. Granger, the elderly woman who lived alone on the corner lot. Her gray hair hung loose, her face pale under the yellow porch light. "Mrs. Granger?" Emily asked. "You scared me." The old woman stared at her, not at her face, but at her chest, as if listening for something. "You shouldn't be out after sunset," she said quietly. "I take this road every day." Mrs. Granger stepped closer. "They've been watching again." Emily frowned. "Who's they?" The old woman's eyes widened. "The ones that wear our faces." A cold shiver crawled up Emily's spine. Before she could ask another question, Mrs. Granger grabbed her wrist. "If you hear someone call your name tonight, no matter how much they sound like someone you love," she leaned in close, "don't answer." Then she released her and stepped back into the shadows. The porch light flickered. Mrs. Granger was gone. Emily ran the rest of the way home. Her house stood alone at the edge of the fields, a modest 2-story farmhouse. Lights were on inside. Her dad's truck sat in the driveway. She burst through the front door. "Dad?" No answer. The TV was on in the living room, playing static. Her stomach tightened. "Dad?" she called again. She heard movement upstairs. Relief washed over her. Then her phone buzzed. A text from her dad. "Dad, still at the plant. Won't be home until midnight. Lock the doors." Emily stared at the message. The footsteps upstairs stopped. Slowly, something began walking down the stairs. Emily backed away from the staircase. Each step creaked under unseen weight. Then, her father appeared. "Hey, kiddo," he said, smiling. "You're home early." Something was wrong. His smile was too wide. His eyes didn't blink. Emily's voice shook. "You texted me." The thing tilted its head. "I don't remember that." It stepped closer. Emily noticed its shoes were caked with wet soil, and its shadow on the wall moved a second slower than its body. Her phone buzzed again. "Dad, Emily, listen carefully. Whatever you see in that house, run." The thing lunged. Emily screamed and ran for the back door. She burst into the freezing night air and sprinted into the cornfield. Stalks whipped against her face as she ran blindly, heart pounding. Behind her, she heard her father's voice. "Emily, wait!" She didn't stop. Then she heard her own voice calling back. "Dad!" She clamped her mouth shut. "Don't answer." The cornfield came alive with whispers, dozens of voices mimicking neighbors, friends, teachers, all calling her name. She ran until her lungs burned. Then she tripped. As she fell, she saw figures standing between the rows, tall, wrong-shaped silhouettes wearing human faces as masks. They smiled. Emily woke inside the storm cellar behind her house. Mrs. Granger sat beside her, holding a lantern. "They've lived beneath this town for generations," Mrs. Granger said. "They come out when the sun sets. They learn us, copy us." Emily whispered, "Why me?" Mrs. Granger's face hardened. "Because you saw one." A scream echoed above them, her father's voice. Mrs. Granger shut the cellar door. "They can't get in here," she said, "but they can wait." Emily didn't sleep. When morning came, the cellar door opened. Sunlight spilled in. The town looked normal again. Her father stood outside, pale but alive. They never spoke about that night. Mrs. Granger's house was empty. No one remembered her. But every evening, just after sunset, Emily hears footsteps behind her. And sometimes, when she's alone, her phone buzzes with messages she never opens. Because in Maple Hollow, once something learns your voice, it never forgets.